Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Community Matters and Town Assets Committee meeting. It's Wednesday, 23rd of July, and we're just at 7:30. So, just a matter of course, housekeeping first. So we're not expecting any fire drills or anything. So if you do hear the fire alarm going off, it will be a need to evacuate the building. So we've got our fire exits just behind me and out the front, and our muster point is over in the car park. Oh, just bear with me 1 second. Go. Many bits of software popping up there. Okay, apologies for absence. We've got three from this evening. We've got Councillor Janet Davey, we've got Mariam as well, and we've got Mike Rees, yep. So three noted and everybody else is here. Item number 3, declarations of councillors' interests and requests for any dispensations. We can start, none that I'm aware of.
Yeah, none that I'm aware of.
None. None that I'm aware of.
None that I'm aware of.
Good. All brilliant and correct then. Okay, we've got a few things to rattle through on the chairman's update. Just a few things that we really just wanted to make sure that we minute as well, really, I guess. So the 4.1 first, a note of thanks that we've received from the residents at Redcliffe Bay following the monolith of the tree, and that was the one that was overhanging the car park and the sort of the rear of the houses there. So from the health and safety perspective, in that sense, we got that done. So that was probably about 5 weeks ago now, Sharon, wasn't it? I think something like that. So yeah, just a note of thanks from the actual residents there. 4.2 is a consultation that's open until midnight on the 17th of August. There's an opportunity there, just sort of an incentive really, I guess, to get that consultation completed. There's 5 £50 shopping vouchers up for grabs. So it's in essence, North Somerset Council are looking for feedback and data to understand how people move around the region and for what purposes. And that's obviously to feed into their transport planning, strategic transport planning for the next number of years. So, yep, there's a link there, which we'll put out in the communications plan as well, actually, when we come to do that later in the meeting. But yeah, just a point to note. And 4.3, if the technology allows us to do so, we now are going to listen to an update regarding the policing plans. I think for the last couple of months that we've been reporting that Councillor Alan George has, in his persistence really, I guess, been trying to get updates from our local police at all levels, trying to understand what we can do and what their plans are for the town as well in terms of more visible policing, and strategically exactly what their plans are as well. So we've kind of asked Alan to do an update for us. So I think it was important to sort of provide the platform really, I guess, for Alan to give that. So so yeah, take it away, Steve.
My name's Alan George. I'm one of the Portishead Town councillors. I cover the East Ward. I'm also the police liaison councillor for the town. I'm ex-Avon and Somerset Constabulary police officer, which is part of the reason why I was tasked to try and help reduce crime and antisocial behaviour in the town. I've been liaising with the local community officers for the last 3.5 years, and it's been a bit of uphill grading at times, but at long last, and thankfully, it appears the end is in sight, that we are going to get police officers out on the streets of Portishead. From the end of September, there is going to be a scheme introduced where there will be a sergeant and 9 constables operating from police headquarters in a tasking group. Their tasking will be on a daily and weekly and monthly basis, where they will be given the opportunity to patrol in numbers, which can be foot patrols, high-vis in the town areas, and also in strategic spots, like if you've got problems at the lake grounds, the marina, places like that, there will be dedicated patrols going into that area. This is being funded by the police, but also being led by Inspector Matt Hawkins, who I've worked with in the past, and Acting Sergeant Timothy Stride, who've pushed for this in the town. They do need funding to keep it going once it's started. So if you have any antisocial behaviour reports or any thefts or anything, don't just think the police won't do anything about it. They will, but they need to be told. They can't act unless they're told. And it might not be the outcome you want, but at least they'll be aware and they can act upon it, and then they can get the funding for extra officers. And that's what it's all about, extra funding for extra officers. So this is going to be from the end of September. One of the other problems that we've had in the town for some time now is that the police did away with the model, which was Nailsea, Cleveland, Portishead and Weston were all covered locally. Unfortunately, at one stage we had one response car to act in the town, and Southmead and Patchway, which is by far the most extreme areas you could cover. And it didn't work very well. So they've reviewed it, and hopefully from the end of December this year, there will be going back to the old system, which is Portishead will have its own response team responding to incidents in North Somerset, and Patchway and Southmead areas will be covered by Bristol once more. So hopefully we'll be seeing our own local patrols that you will get to know and be able to speak to the officers, which is something that is really worthwhile, having our own team back in the town, approachable, and you know names of people that you can go and speak to. So hopefully things are going to improve in the town. Just one other word of warning to parents during the school holidays and all the time really. Do you know where your kids are at night? Because everybody comments on the criminal damage, which is going quite highly through the roof at the moment, Portishead. Well, you can blame other parents and other people's kids, but do you know where your children are? Do you just accept that they're going around their friends for the evening? Are they actually there, or are they wandering the town committing damage? So you really need to keep an eye on your kids. They can easily get into trouble. We've had problems at Petersfield, the retirement home, lots of damage. I've been in there and it is literally a tinderbox. They built up barricades to prevent the police entering to make arrests, but also not thinking about it. They probably barricaded themselves in, and if there was a fire, they couldn't escape easily. And we really need to avert a tragedy. So if you're a parent or just a citizen who's concerned about things in Portishead, any concerns, please contact your local police or the council. Somebody will be able to help you. Thank you.
No, that's it.
Hello, my name's Alan George. I'm one of the Portishead Town Councillors. I cover the East Ward.
No, so yeah, I think it was important really, I guess, for me not necessarily to summarise Alan's words, to say thank you to Alan as well for his sort of dedication and persistence in this matter. That having that relationship that he's got with the officers there as well, given his background, is really important for us. And yeah, so hopefully we will see some positive policing. Some, you know, we've had a spate of it again over the last 24 hours, haven't we, in terms of vandalism down the lake grounds and some other things. So I think it's yeah, it's important for us to keep on the agenda, but at the same time, hopefully we're going to see some positive change over the next couple of months. But I think just to reiterate what Alan said, the more data that the police have got, the more funding that will be available for them. So I think the apathy really, I guess, of reporting crime, that you know, just it's cyclical. So I think we just need to make sure that everybody knows, you know, how to report, what they need to do, and just to sort of, you know, maintain what we can to support, and hopefully this will work for everyone. Okay, our next update is on the railway. And again, it was just, I think everybody would have known by now that that we've actually finally got the green light from the Department of Transport for the additional funding that was required, and that was granted in early July. Obviously, as always, mixed opinions in terms of how useful it will be for us to have, but to have an extra transport option, you know, for Portishead is got to be a good thing, in essence. So yeah, so just a note to that really. Opening expected early 2028. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, but obviously not. Don't blame us if it's no. So subject to absolutely anything. Yeah, anything that could come down the rails to do that. Boom. Yeah, that's indeed. And then the high street works, and I know it's obviously been really disruptive, you know, in terms of sort of local trade and everything at the moment. But we're hopefully coming to a closure of the gasworks that are along the high street at the moment. So they are scheduled to finish on the 1st of August. But then close on the heels to that, we've got a second closure from Bristol Water coming between the 4th and the 6th of August. So that is going to be, I think, part of the high street and also Roath Road. So yeah, so we'll clear the way and then we'll have something back. But yeah, hopefully, as I said, that should be everything that we're aware of currently, anyway. And then the last one on from a high street perspective, 4.6 is on the banking hub. We did put a sort of a post out through our social media channels as well regarding the banking hub, and that was on the heels of NatWest, you know, confirming that their closure is going ahead. But what NatWest have confirmed is that they are going to remain open until the banking hub is sort of in place. There's still you know, a location to find and all of those sort of practical things. But the expected go live of that banking hub is June 2026. And there's also going to be community info events, which are going to be happening from the autumn this year as well. So again, that was just another iteration, really, I guess, of what's going on in regards the position and just maintaining a you know, a high street location in that sense for people to access banking facilities. So 4.7, the lake grounds. Now, for those people that may be aware, we've had a number of algae blooms across the course of the last couple of weeks. And mainly stimulated by the hot weather that we've had. It's been there, it's been reducing, it's been back again, it's been reducing. But the update that we had yesterday anyway from North Somerset is that the fisheries team have been back there, and I think they were there again today. They are going to preemptively treat the lake just to make sure that the algae bloom is treated and is under control. So yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that, but it's just to say that there are a lot of eyes already on it from the people that should be monitoring it, and hopefully it will get resolved. And then last one on the chairman's update is the Mead Road play area, and that's just to say that that's now back open, thankfully, just in time for the school summer holidays. The remedial works there have all been signed off, and we're ready to go. Anything else on that, Sharon? No, it's great. Roger.
Sorry, on a totally different subject. Item number 1 on the agenda and item number 4 on the agenda, Chairman's welcome and Chairman's update report. Are we happy with the term Chairman's there, given that that not every chair of every committee is a man?
We could use chair for those that
yeah,
have an opinion
I was just going
about
to say,
it.
as soon as you said chairman, I just thought we're going back to 1878 or something, but
no, that's fine. We can if we need to put that in our next agenda to take a vote on it in council. I don't know if that's needed, Steve, or if we just change what.
We can change that. Yeah, no problem. I think we should. Yeah.
Yep. Fine. No, thank you, Roger. Okay, so on that, finishing the chair's update. We'll move on to item number 5, which is the minutes of the previous meeting. I know we've got a number of members here who were also in attendance. Everybody had a chance to check them over. I didn't see any issues. Everything looked okay. And bearing the feedback that we had from the last meeting, these were available online as well, more or less immediately, Steve, weren't they? So yeah, just to keep in line with what we had in terms of public participation there as well. So I can go with this, yeah, in a second. Yep, Jenny. And everybody that was here is in favour. Yeah, so that was anonymous. I'll sign those at the end, Steve, and get them across to you. Okay, great. Item number 6, public participation. We've got a couple of people online as well. Is there anybody that wishes to speak? No. Anybody online? Sorry, anyone online?
Sue's waving her hand, I think.
Yep.
No.
No.
I thought that was.
No, that was our hand. Okay, no worries
No.
at all. No.
No from me.
Thanks, Sue. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, so item number 7, we've got some reports to receive from external organisations, clubs and the community. So I'd like to welcome Paul up to the table to just give us a brief verbal update on the carnival. Welcome again, Paul.
Thank you. As you're all aware, Carnival happened against the odds, I think, at some moments. There were some teething issues. I think we delivered it point of face. There's quite a lot of administration that now needs looking at and amending and tweaking behind the scenes. One of the biggest concerns was the programme sellout. Now, for any event to sell out before the event is fantastic news. However, we were restricted on our licensing numbers. We could only go with what we had. There was a bit of negative feedback, but we have took those comments on board, and we have now gone back to council with an application to change the licence for the field. So we're looking to upgrade to a 5,000 to 10,000 licence, which would give us an extra capacity. Unfortunately, within your licence numbers includes all your traders, all your administration staff, your marshals. So although it sounds like a big number of attendants, you can easily lose nearly 1,000 people in the delivery of the event. The downside to that is there is an extraordinary financial cost involved. First of all, just for the licence application, which we've put in already, that is £1,000 non-negotiable when you fill the form out. Our annual fee for the licence will literally times 4 go up to £500 a year. That will then subsequently have a knock-on to our security requirements, our infrastructure requirements in relation to toilets and everything else. So we have took it on board. We have looked at it financially. I think if we're open and honest, we went from a standing start last year, but thanks to the council grant, we did actually finish in the black. So that's a bonus that we got there. Even though we have finished in the black and the accounts are now online for people to be able to see, if they go to the website, you'll see the profit and loss, you'll see where the expenditure's gone. We do feel that we won't get a decision on the licence until around about the 13th of August. At that point, we would have to look at financials and say, look, we've got this licence. We might be able to do it if we come back to council and say, could you bail us out to get us to deliver this for the first year? And if not possible, we might have to say, well, although we got the licence, we're going to have to do a rerun of last year on numbers just to make it affordable to deliver and to be able to deliver it. So that's where we are with licensing and the major points learned. There were other teething problems with road closures, etc., which we've addressed now. And we're going back to a post-SAG meeting early August where we're then getting the additional feedback from the local services as well, which will then be incorporated into the website plan. we just really want people at Portishead to remember the carnival is not ours and it's not the council's, it's the people at Portishead. So we want to be open and transparent. If you think there's details missing off the website or you'd like to even just go through the financials, you're more than welcome to. And if you think, well, actually, I've got an experience in that area and I think I could save you a few bob, then please approach either email, Facebook, or any other means and say, look, I've looked at your financials. I think you might be able, or these people might be able to offer you a better deal or something like that. So I do think it's important that everyone can see everything, but at the same time, everyone knows that they can approach and say to the committee, yeah, I think you've done well there, or I think you could save some money there. But up until August, I don't think there's a lot we can say in a positive or negative light, apart from just to update everyone on where we're at, that we have took the major issue on board and we are moving forward to try and resolve it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no, excellent. No, thank you. Yeah, it's just this progress, isn't it? Really, I guess, in terms of where you're getting. So, which way we want to? Yeah, Roger.
Very, very briefly, all I wanted to say was, one, thank you very much for everything that you've done. But two, where's your website, and can we minute the website address so that it sits in our permanent record of the meeting for people who look back to it?
Yeah, the website is possetevents.com, or one word, possetevents.com. And if you are going to go to the website, people, the other thing that I forgot to mention, which would have got me in trouble, as part of the sort of give back ethos of the whole committee and the carnival status, they're setting up a section there to help others. So if you're looking at an event or you want to sort out collection tins and you're not sure what license or who to contact or what it's going to cost, there's a free service there, because having just spent over 12 months delving into the dungeons of council regulation, there is quite a lot of knowledge there. So although we might not be able to give back at this stage financially, what we feel we can give back is a lot of time and heartache for others who want to look at putting on an event, certain regulations, the vendors, the trading licenses, everything down to the security plan. All the committee are now fully up on the Act training. We're monitoring and very involved on the training courses that are still ongoing and coming out of Act. So we're very au fait with that side of growth as well, and the security. So really, yeah, it's just that we want to make it more of the reason it was called Posset Events is to try and establish it more as a local asset where people can go. And even if you just need some Act cards, you know, the aid memoirs for actions on, you know, we've had to buy them in bulk. There's no point in sitting in someone's loft, 1,000 odd copies, if it saves other people having to go and buy them in bulk. They're there free of charge. And so, yeah, so the website is still being developed, but hopefully it will become more of an asset within its own right. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Bob?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I'm just wondering, obviously, over the next sort of 10, 11 months, has the carnival plans to raise, money to support through any events that might be coming along? And the other thing is, obviously, as you're well aware, that I've supported the carnival from the beginning. Anything I can do to promote it, just let me know.
Right. Well, we've got the original events. Last year we tried the old the Royal Disco for the younger ones and the Royal Ball and Evening Fair. It didn't work. We had a big job convincing youth because they didn't know what it was about. But now we've hopefully got better numbers. Next year, we're looking at trying to organise a Coronation Day. That will make it more affordable for us to deliver it. And hopefully we'll be able to run more activities throughout the day for the kids, but also for the adults in the evening. So that will generate more. We did make a loss on both those events last year, and that is a positive way that we think we could go forward. The other one we're looking at, touch wood, I shouldn't be saying this yet, but we are looking at doing, It's a Knockout was a very entertaining thread, but because the parade was so late, we had to cut it very short. We rushed through, we stopped after 3 legs. The trouble with Carnival is if you've got a very selective window, and because of the size of the field, you can't have the main stage and the arena going at the same time. So you've got to do a bit of a double act. So what we're proposing, and hopefully another more couple of bottles of red wine will help us make the right decision, is maybe early May time actually having It's a Knockout Day, but make it for family teams. So the teams would consist of perhaps 2 adult males, 2 adult females, 2 teenagers, 2 from the primary years. So there's a whole age group, and then the activities would reflect the age group's participation and the relays. And so it allows us to make it more fun, use more equipment, because that was the other thing. You've got to use equipment that you could get on there quick, get off quick. Whereas if you've got a whole afternoon designated to it, you can be more flexible and then have just the 2 final teams going into the arena on Carnival Day for the playoff to get first and second place. We're hoping that will engage more with the younger children, make more of a family day out, and hopefully just raise a little bit extra cash, pushing us towards the total budget.
Yeah, thanks for that. That sounds an absolutely brilliant idea.
No, no, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it's fantastic, and I think that from what you're just talking through, it's for people to actually understand the whole. When I say logistics of everything, it's literally everything that you are planning now, right the way through until next year, isn't it? So yeah, I think again, sort of, I've already written them down for the comms plan as well, but obviously the website with the fundraising link on there, and a shout out for any skilled resource that can provide you sort of any opportunity to reduce those operating costs and any other ideas. So that would be great. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Okay, so the next 2, the one next point is the CANS Q1 report. Has everybody seen the report? Sort of a vast array of data there for us to be able to kind of like sort of pour over, really, I guess. But yeah, there's this quarterly report. This sort of covers from the up until the end of June, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know if anybody has got anything to add to it. It was sort of reflective, really, I guess, of the move into here as well. But
I was going to say, I think it's they're doing a great job, and the move has been successful, and it's all working very well. Well done to CANS and Claire.
Yeah. And then the next bit was just to note, really, I guess, an invitation which was extended to from the RBL for a barbecue. I think we had a couple of it's past tense now because it was a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, really good. Yeah, good. Okay, so on to agenda item number 8, which is a flurry of grant applications that we had through. I think we've got Mike is in the audience with us. I'm just trying to think about who else was on the grant working party, Mike, in case we need to. Oh, and David is up. Just to sort of feed in any questions, if anybody's got any questions to any of them. So the first one, 8.1 for Portishead Lions. So the request has come in for £500, and that was a grant application to consider the support for replacing and maintaining the 12 Lions community notice boards that we've got around the town. So the recommendation from the grant working party was that £500 be awarded to the Lions Club to maintain and or replace the 12 notice boards that are around Portishead. Has anybody got any questions on that one? I think it was pretty straightforward, and as you said, as much as everything else that they do, the Lions do a fantastic job with both, their volunteer services and what it is that they actually provide for the town as well. We know that they support the youth centre and all sorts of other community sort of charities as well. So yeah, it'll be one for me, so I can propose that, and Bob's a very quick finger on seconder, and can we see if we're all in favour? Yep, apart from
I'm not a committee
you're
member.
not, are you? No, sorry, you just Martin, decorative member Whitfield, yeah. Okay, so that's a yay for 8.1, Steve. Number 8.2, which is the cadets. So let's give them their full title. The Cadets 2494 Portishead Squadron Air Training Corps. So there is a request for £700, and that was to purchase an event shelter and a squadron branded feather flags and supporting equipment. So that's the weights for the shelter and other bits and pieces to do that. And primarily that's obviously for outdoor activities, given I think we've had our summer now, so we're probably already into rainy weather. Yeah, again, the recommendation is to award the £700 to the cadets to purchase the event shelter and the associated equipment. So if got a quick finger there from Jenny. So Jenny in a second. Yeah, let's go with Martin. We're going to draw there as well. So yeah, are we all in favour of that? Yep, all in favour as well. Excellent. And the next one is 8.3 for Artport 25. So the request there was to consider the grant application for £2,000 for Artport to build on the promotional marketing materials. So that's included banners, the programmes, the advertisements and the online media, etc. I think everybody is well aware of what Artport, what the committee is actually doing. There's normally signage and everything else that you can see around the town as well. So the recommendation from the committee was to award £2,000. The application itself was for £3,000, but obviously given our grants pot size, the recommendation was for £2,000. So if we have a proposer, Martin and Bob for a seconder there, and if we are all in favour of that one. So we've got, yep, so that's an award of £2,000 to Artport Portishead Arts Festival for the purchase of the promotional and marketing materials. I think they're building obviously on the success of last year with the attendance growing year on year as well. So that's certainly good for the tourism for the town too. Last one in the section here is music for miniatures. So the request here was the original application was for £1,000, and again, just sort of consume it with the level of funding that we've actually got left. So the grant award for £750 for music for miniatures to support classical music concerts. So this is the first time that we've seen this this sort of committee. Oh, excellent. Okay. We got a hand up. Yeah, of course. Julie, sorry, do you want to speak? No. No worries whatsoever.
Sorry, I've just joined and I heard you just beginning the conversation. So I'll just, if you've got any questions, ask me.
No problem at all. I think all of the questions that needed to be asked were passed back by Nikki to the grants committee anyway. So I think everything was absolutely sorted. So anything to add, Mike or David, from things? No. Excellent. No, fine. So the recommendation to award the grant of £750 to Music for Miniatures to support the classical music concerts. And can we have a proposer? So Bob and Martin again, and is that us all in favour? Excellent. Okay. Yeah. And again, I think as a just to sort of introduce yourselves, really, I guess to Portishead, I think we'll probably put that. We'll put a summary of all of the grants on there as well. But if there's any information or sort of social media channels or anything else that we can share, then we can add that to the comms as well. No worries. Excellent. Okay, on to item number 9, which is our report from Claire, the Signpost and Referrals Officer. Everybody's managed to have a read of the report. Sort of numbers very steady and increasing, really, I guess, now that that we've got, more availability here on that Friday as well. I don't know if anybody's got any other points to raise?
Just to say again, yeah, because obviously being in the hall here, so just publicise that every Friday,
Every
we
Friday.
have got citizens advice are in the hall here, in the folk hall, and if we can put that on the comms.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there was a slight dip in people once because obviously we used to be in the Beacon Hub, but very quickly I think they realised we're now here. So yeah, and then so it's going well.
No worries, Bob.
I'm just wondering if the council would like my support and my technical skill to highlight it a bit more. I think I've had to be in that situation myself in the past, and I think it's great to provide that information and support to the public.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Martin?
People who actually used the hall here have really felt they've been more secure and more isolated, and because it's a bigger venue.
Yeah.
And they've appreciated the size of it, and they felt more comfortable with what's going on.
Yeah, being able to talk more
absolutely.
more confidentially, I guess, and everything else with the space that's available. So yeah, it's a great use of the asset. And thanks, Martin. Okay, and obviously thanks to Claire for the report as well. Item number 10. So the folk hall replacement chairs. I don't think any of us are going to miss stacking these at the end of the meeting, are we necessarily? So we've got a report to consider from Mike, and Mike's in attendance with us here. So I think there's been a number of different suggestions in terms of what options that we've got. So discussing with the Deputy Clerk earlier today, I think what we're going to do in terms of the recommendation is to agree the figure, and then we'll work out the actual detail on what chairs they end up being with liaison with Mike, just making sure that, or with Mike's, but yeah, just making sure that we can at least get the amount signed off through committee tonight, and then we can move on with that. Mike, do you want to? Yeah, to the mic, please.
Yes, the report which I'm happy to give you next month with an example of the chairs that I'm looking at specifically, there would be an uplifting cost. So if you were to agree tonight's cost of 3,600 plus VAT, that wouldn't be sufficient.
Okay, so what do we want to do? Do we want to? Yeah.
Well, we do. I've received a couple of quotations for upward of 80. We could go up to 100. I know that the capacity of this hall is 100. So I've received quotations for 80, 85, 100. And we're looking at somewhere around about 8,000, up to about 8,000.
Okay.
This is a much more contemporary looking chair, and it's lighter than the ones which Mike has identified, which I've measured, I've weighed them upstairs. They come out at £13, I think, as in weight, not.
Yeah, so we'll go Martin, Jenny, and then Paul. Sorry, go on. There. Yeah.
These things got a value. We can.
A financial value? Yeah. Oh, I've no idea. Mike's more in. I don't think so. I think not.
Yeah, Mike's already identified from a fire retardant perspective and some other things that we've already got issues with the ones that we've got here, and the size and the weight. They are limiting in terms of the hirers that we've got here as well. Some of the groups are just simply unable to actually move them around themselves. So I think all of those things need to be taken into consideration, as well as longevity of the choice that we make. I think we need to kind of keep all of that. Obviously 8,000's more than double the quote of what we've got now, so I think we need to consider that. So maybe we consider signing off up to an amount, but I think we would absolutely have to justify spending more than double on a selection that's already been made. Jenny, and then
I was just going to ask whether a range of people have sat on them.
I'm arranging to get a sample sent down.
because these chairs actually, I mean, I know they're not fit for purpose, but they are very comfortable.
I don't disagree about that. But I think in terms of the one identified, yes, they do have a reputation for being comfortable, but lighter.
Okay.
The current ones, these are about £16 in weight. The ones Mike's suggesting are 13 because there are examples upstairs. The ones I've identified are about 10 and a half. But as a point of case, I mean, after last night's Portishead Rail Group meeting in this hall, we were all asked to put our chairs back at the end. Some struggled. Yeah. Some were lifting two of them and putting them and stacking them at the back, but clearly it's an identified problem when most groups now are having to put the chairs back.
Yeah, no, indeed. And yeah, we need to keep that in mind, don't we, really, I guess. Paul?
So can I suggest we defer this until Mike comes back with the costing, the different options, and we just look at it rather than trying to guess what the number is today? Yeah. Because we'll probably get it wrong. So you can come back with the different options. As a chair, I'd also want to talk about tables, so if I can. So there is a serious point, because obviously if we can buy a load of chairs, we could do with different tables in here, especially for the large council meetings I know we've talked about before. So I'd like that whatever chairs we buy, they need to work with the little small tables, I think, so that we can configure the room in different ways, because obviously the shape of the room of this hall is not great. Especially when you've got a larger meeting. So ideally, we would like to have meetings where, we can have sort of small groups of tables around the hall. And you can do that quite nicely with the little square tables we have upstairs. So I just want to make sure we think about that as well, because we don't have a lot of people come into the hall, because it's not, but if we can make it more friendly, we can, so like Mike and I went to Nailsea recently for their residents meeting, and everyone was sitting around in little sort of groups in tables with obviously the Wi-Fi mics, and it was a much more convivial atmosphere. So I just wondered if we could have a think about that at the same time. Yeah, sorry, Sharon, you. Yeah, if you want to, yeah. In terms of tables. In terms of tables, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I have looked at the tables. There are a number of different options available to us. Our biggest challenge is that the majority of our hirers use the large tables. They use up to, at times, 16. We have storage for that, and that is our challenge. If we go for smaller tables, we don't have the physical storage to take those and to put them anywhere. These are double size by comparison with the smaller tables you refer to. And that means we would need to double the amount of storage, which we simply don't have. We've got a table store out there which is full to overflowing, as I'm sure you're aware. These tables do need replacing. They have reached the point where they're at end of life. They are dangerous. I could easily demonstrate that. And the legs have a very nasty habit of opening on you unexpectedly and catching you in places you really don't want to be caught. But they do actually remain the best foldable table that we can get. You won't find something that's going to be smaller and lighter that still have got good quality and good long-lasting longevity. These are 25 years old, and that's something we need to consider, that the chairs we're sitting on are 20-odd years old. So we want quality that will last. We've gone for false economy in the past in buying what we thought was better quality when it was lighter. And because of the way that things are used, we've found ourselves with chairs that are broken when people have rocked back on them. Whereas we do have to be very careful about it. And I think it is a very awkward layout to try and consider how we're going to change the layout of this hall to make it more user-friendly. We got 14 small tables.
How many small tables do we have already?
We have 14, which are half size. So they're fundamentally, they're two to one.
All right. Yeah, so I was going to say, perhaps when we're looking at replacing these, we could, so if you bought more of the smaller ones, you can just put those together, can't you? So.
We can't store them.
Maybe if you're replacing the bigger ones.
But we would have to have twice as many small tables to replace the same area of tables that we currently have.
Yes, the floor space doesn't accommodate the.
It's our biggest challenge in this building is storage.
Right. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement that we defer then to get all of the options together, taking into account obviously, you know, longevity. Sorry, Roger. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I just wanted to just double check with Paul that you're asking for this to be deferred and brought back as a table and chairs proposal as opposed to just a chairs proposal. Is that right?
Yeah, really, yeah, I'd like it to be considered as well. Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, and if one of those items delays the other one, then I guess we can just look at it pragmatically and do what we need to do to be able to make a decision, so Mike can get on and get the replacements ordered, tables and chairs or whatever we need to do. Okay, so right. Deferred for that one then. So that's 10.1. Moving on to 10.2. The report also includes the proposition of getting rid of the piano. Now I know we've kind of already had a discussion prior to or post the agenda being published that we're also going to defer this one for the moment. So I think speaking again with Deputy Clerk earlier on today, we're probably going to go back through, understand the hirers, find out whether there's any opportunity to, you know, sort of highlight that we do have a piano. But I think we've only had one hirer in the last year or so that's actually 3.5 years that's actually used the piano, but yeah, we shall see where we need to get to with this. But yeah, there are other councillors that want input into the decision-making process. So Paul, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand, Mike. We've also got a piano at Redcliffe Bay, so I guess we can consolidate down to one piano if is that all?
Bay actually does get used.
Okay. Yeah.
Once a month by the WI.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Hymns are available. Yeah. Yes, Jenny.
Can I ask, where did that figure of £6,000 to £8,000 come from?
Our recent insurance. Sorry, go on, Mike.
We recently had the piano tuned, and the company that came out actually sell pianos secondhand as well as make them. We were under the impression that it was an old piano of limited value. When the tuner came out, he said, no, he's been tuning this one for some time. It's a Bechstein Model 8. Apparently Bechstein is in the same sort of phrase as Steinway. So we're talking very high level. It's 100 years old. It is probably the most valuable item that we have as an asset to the halls, any of the halls, as we now find out. And he said, conservatively, we could sell this to £6,000 to £8,000. I'm not necessarily suggesting that we get rid of a piano, as get rid of a very expensive piano, which is vulnerable, which we will need to list on our insurance specifically, and which may raise the insurance, as potentially replacing it with something cheaper, which would be another option. So we retain something, be it a keyboard or be it a cheaper second-hand piano, rather than actually have something which is very rarely used, literally once in 3.5 years has it been requested. We are pretty full in here. We've got very few vacancies, so trying to advertise it to say we've got a piano is not necessarily really going to make a lot of difference because we can't fit anybody in. So it might be an option for offsetting some of the cost for the chairs and tables, whilst also reducing our overheads for things like insurance, because we will undoubtedly end up with an insurance premium once we say we've got this item which is sitting in the middle of the hall, which anybody can get to, and we're out the door.
Yeah. We noted that earlier, Sharon, didn't we, in terms of the for the finance? Yeah. So yeah, that has been noted already in terms of what we need to do. But so another sort of deferral of this, and then we can make sure that we've got a recommendation to, follow a number of Mike's suggestions and see what we need to do. But yeah. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, sorry, another deferral, Steve. So okay, so fetches us on to agenda item number 11, which is our communications plan. So as we've kind of rattled through, I've noted the publicising again the transport consultation. Obviously that would be useful for all of us. The carnival link from Paul, including the fundraising and any skilled resource that would like to make themselves available to the committee there. 8.4, which was the specifically, we'll run through all of the grant awards, but I think if we wanted to publicise anything regarding the music for miniatures as well, and noting as well the update as Bob mentioned for Cannes and the session here on a Friday.
Did you mention Alan's police video? Did you say that first?
No, but we can do.
So I just get people's views on that. I mean, obviously the change is not happening until the end of September, so we could leave it until then, or do we want to say something now?
I think that probably sounds more timely, doesn't it? In that sense. Obviously, the part of Alan's message was about people looking at, what their kids are doing across the summer holidays, because things, vandalism in that sense does naturally increase too in that period. Sharon?
I think there's been quite some damage going on down at the allotments, and they value a bit of support.
Yeah.
Should we get it played? Should we get played now? I mean, obviously, Amy can monitor the feedback. Obviously, crime and vandalism can get kind of keyboard warriors getting a bit excited sometimes. So we just need to kind of monitor it, make sure it's being received in the right manner. So
okay. Bob.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to sort of intro before the video starts to provide information to the public.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items there, Steve, if that's all right. Excellent. Roger, did you have your hand? No, 5. Oh, Jenny.
Just, do we need to get it checked with the police? I'm sure Alan probably has, but we're putting something on public on a website. I know anybody can access this anyway, but actually just want to be belts and braces that we have got it.
Yeah, and their timelines and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Danger, back to jump in. The implication was that 1 and 9 is Portishead. It won't be. It will be to the north of the Somerset.
It's not Somerset.
Area, because Matt Hawkins covers Nailsea, Clevedon, Portishead, Backwell, Long Ashton. So we're covering a huge area.
Okay, so no, there needs to be when the poster goes up, there needs to be some text to clarify that.
Perhaps then what we do is share a textual summary version.
Yeah, that's probably the better idea, actually, isn't it? Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, maybe we contact the police and ask them to give us a statement to publicise alongside it. Yeah.
Okay, so if I think then what we will do is that we'll run with the other 4 updates, so we don't delay that, Steve, and then we'll do the policing update as a separate, given its status and everything.
Given the subject, let's make sure we get it right and and fully accurate.
Excellent. Okay, so I think that possibly brings us to the last point on the open agenda anyway. So that's the date of next meeting. So we've got that for Wednesday, the 27th of August. Again, we'll be here in the folk hall downstairs. Hope to see everybody then. Yep.
I'm just wondering, do I get a birthday card on that day?
Possibly, but it might. Yeah, possibly cake. Okay, so then agenda item number 13. So this is the exclusion of the public and press. So in full, under the Public Bodies Admissions to Meetings Act 1960, members of the public and press are now required to leave the meeting during consideration of items 13 and 14 below due to the nature of, or being commercially sensitive and charging strategy. So the recommendation that the councillors agree to exclude the public and press here. So I can, that, Martin is seconds, and that is all in favour. Yep. Everybody in. So thank you, everybody.